Do you like Jeff Bezos? He just built a business in a thing that already existed.
Yeah,
He got early. He didn't create the internet.
Yeah.
He didn't create e-commerce. That was a thing already. He just got in early and just built a business so big that he trumped everyone else. Now, with AI, your intelligence is kind of outsourced in a lot of ways. So I think our cognitive ability is going to fade. Okay, and we're starting to see it already.
Hey,
You're blown away, huh?
I reckon this is one of the best things you've ever said on the podcast.
Dude, I was when I realized it, I freaked. You know?
The interesting part about that as well is going to be to see the dumbness.
It's going to happen,
through,
dude.
You know?
So, George, I've really changed my mind about the whole reading thing.
You're going to read again? You're on the book
I've been
bandwagon?
reading. I haven't stopped. I've been currently reading a book called The Blind Watchmaker. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I'm reading it because I heard someone quoted Jeff Bezos thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Jeff Bezos?
I mean, I don't dislike him.
Yeah.
I like him, yes. I admire what he's done. I don't see much of him or anything like that. Don't follow.
See, but he's different. Different to everyone else. Like, he's
How so?
different. How so? He didn't create anything.
What do you mean he didn't create anything?
He didn't create retail. Retail was already a thing. He just built a business in a thing that already existed.
Yeah.
He got early on. He didn't create the internet.
Yeah.
He didn't create e-commerce. That was a thing already. He just got in early and just built a business so big that he trumped everyone else. That's it. That's all he did.
Simple.
But simple, yes. Made it sound like it was nothing. But like, so you look at Steve Jobs, invented a product.
Yeah.
Elon Musk invented a product. You know, like we're talking about the titans. Mark Zuckerberg invented a product. Sam Altman invented a product.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't invent a product. He just said, I'm going to sell books online. And everyone thought it was nuts. But yeah, I've been reading a book called The Blind Watchmaker. I recommend it.
Is it about exactly what the title suggests?
It's about...
Because I don't know if I'd buy one of those watches, in all honesty.
It's about humanity.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You try not to give anything away?
No, it's just about... Do you know what Darwinism is?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I have heard of this.
Yeah. It's like human history and how we formed. It's interesting.
Different.
Oh, it's fucking like... It's, not a business book at all. But just super interesting about humanity and the way we've become, how we've become. And the author is quite famous as well, Richard Dawkins. He's got he's a very big author, scientific author. He's got a lot of books in around humanity and consciousness and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been reading that book now. And the reason why I changed my mind around reading. So the other day we had that conversation, right? And I'll mention it for everyone listening. And I came to you and I was like, hey man, I don't even know if reading is worth reading anymore. We read to gain intelligence, and now with AI, your intelligence is kind of outsourced in a lot of ways, right? And it's like you can go to AI and say, hey, you know everything about my business. Tell me the 7 things I need to do from this book, or tell me all the things I need to implement into my company from this book and put it together in an action step plan, and it'll do it for you. And then tell me what I need to know that I don't already know to make sure I can do this effectively. And it'll do it for you. And then
30 seconds.
Yeah, and then I thought, okay. When the Industrial Revolution happened, right? So I was having a conversation with someone and they go to me, they complimented my thinking process. Yeah, they're like, the way you process your thoughts and you can explain something is quite good. And I said, thanks. And then I thought, why? Why can I do that? And I thought, it's probably because all of the reading and the consumption of knowledge and conversations and everything that we have. And then I thought, if we stopped doing that, right? This is what I think is going to happen. I think people are going to stop training intelligently. I think we're going to experience what we experience physically. So people used to be fit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Fuck, what a theory.
Yes, this is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to experience what we experience physically. So I think people used to be fit and strong. Industrial Revolution happened. everyone got fat.
Fuck. You look at, yes, you're looking like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you go to the beach. There's like photos, like you could go to the beach.
Yeah. And then
Everyone was fit. Everyone had a six pack. Everyone had a good body. Like they were eating good food. No one was unfit. Now you go to the beach and there's fucking elephants everywhere.
yeah. And it's like, there's lots of reasons. One, obviously the food,
The ease
industry,
of food,
yeah.
the comfort factor. Yeah, there's so many reasons.
yeah, but
yes.
the fact that we don't have to move as much anymore.
Yes, you don't. It's an effort. Like we were just talking about it before this episode. I'm trying to walk 12,000 steps a day. Yeah. It's an effort for me to do that because
but you're making that effort.
I am.
Why?
But because I'm trying to achieve a goal. Like I'm trying to be fit. I'm trying to be better and stronger.
Yeah. Whereas previously you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Now, and then we went through that phase where people, and I would say people are more health conscious now than ever.
Yeah.
Right? And
More information out about it. For
yeah,
sure.
and then there was that period though between when we were forced to do it, like I wouldn't say forced, but we had an external thing.
Oh, we had to. You had to walk to work.
Yeah, you had to walk to
or
work.
you got to ride the horse.
or
Like, you're not driving.
Or you were like working physically.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you were working
You're probably
on farms,
doing 20,000
doing in
steps,
agriculture.
50,000 steps,
every day. So you were kept fit by that. We stopped it for a long time.
Farmer's strength.
Humans got really sick. Is that what they call it? Farmer's strength?
Yeah.
Humans got really sick, and then we purposefully, now it's like, think about this. Like, how long have gyms been around? Were gyms a thing 200 years ago?
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Oh, probably. No, there was probably an element of it.
A gym?
I wouldn't know if it's an actual gym, but I think strength training would have been around.
Yeah, but then, then the other element is like, how popular were they?
Yeah.
Most people are probably like, well, I don't need it. I don't want to.
That?
Yeah. Whereas now it's kind of like, hey, you should train.
Yeah.
And we've brought it back into our lives. So we've brought back the physical movement that was original part of the way we used to operate. And then we stopped doing it. And now we've brought it back into our lives to say that this is important for us, for our bodies, for our physicality, for our health. And I think the same thing is going to happen with intelligence. So I think our cognitive ability is going to fade. Okay. And we're starting to see it already.
Hey,
you're blown away, huh?
I reckon this is one of the best things you've ever said on the podcast.
Dude, I was when I realized it, I freaked. And
I'm freaking now.
Yeah.
I might throw up.
Because I thought, we're going to lose cognitive ability. We're seeing it already, dude. We all know someone who can't fucking do something basic without searching it.
Jesus.
Yeah? We already know that. Like right now, that's happened already. So we're going to go from people were driven by external factors. People read for one of two reasons. You either like reading or you like knowing stuff you didn't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. You're either trying to gain information. So either way, you've got an external thing. You're like, yes, this gives me pleasure. I enjoy it. It's escapism. Or I'm trying to get this fucking thing and I'm so driven to get that thing that I'll consume anything I need. Right? So we were driven by that. And now as that fades, because you don't need your intelligence anymore, our cognitive ability is going to fade. And then it's going to become a thing of, hey, you need to exercise your brain.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, and it's going to become a thing. And then they're going to be like, it's very good to read 10 pages a day. Even though you don't need to read anymore, it's going to be a thing of bring it back into your life. Yeah. It's a mental exercise.
Yeah.
How fucking sick, huh?
That is amazing. Yeah. Honestly, that's some of the best 5 minutes we've ever had on this podcast. Sorry to all the previous guests.
It was, it was, dude, I was blown away when
that's excellent.
Just the thought process.
I'm going to go read a book after this podcast, right?
Yeah, it's like, why wait? That was my prediction of future.
The interesting part about that as well is going to be to see the dumbness.
It's going to happen, dude.
You know?
Oh, dude,
and we're going to be those old souls, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like we're going to become old, right? And then we're going to die out, and then it's going to be left all the fucking retards that are left in the world. And then it's going to be like, okay, is there going to be a group that goes, hey, we've become dumb, let's get smart again, and then it comes full circle.
Yeah, and then like, so what will become bigger that? Like, if you open the gym, like if you got into gym early, like in the 60s or 70s when it really started to become a thing, well, I don't even, I'm guessing.
Yeah, when it was.
Gyms could have been a thing for like 400 years. Yeah. I have no idea. But if you got in before, like I would say gyms are most popular. Look at like an F45, right? Mm-hmm. Those types of trainings tend to be quite popular People love going there,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It's like
Quick
if
session, in and out.
Yeah, it's like quick session, in and out, group training, focused by one person leading the group. If you did that like 30 years ago, you probably would have been at the front of that pack now. You know what I mean? I think F45 doesn't do anything significantly different. I think they were just early. And they were so early that when we talk about those types of training, most people say, oh, like F40. There's lots of them. There's like BFT and all these other brands.
There's heaps of them. Like I haven't even seen an F45 anymore because I don't even know if they're around still.
Are they? Yeah, maybe they're not. I don't know.
But I know they grew hugely. They were massive. They went public, and then I saw they had a massive crash as well. So
like
and then
most
I haven't
companies
seen
that go public.
Yeah, and then I haven't seen anything since.
And but if I say to you like the F45 kind of training, you relate. You know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just because they were early.
Mm.
And it's like, okay, well, what's the business opportunity now with the intellectual training? Not in the sense of, I'm not talking about selling a fucking online program, because that's not necessarily intellectual training. I'm talking about, think about the physical versus intellectual. This is physical stimulation. When you go to the gym, you're doing some type of physical stimulation, strength training, cardiovascular training, high intensity training. What other forms of intellectual training that you could do that would, get the brain churning?
Yeah.
And then that could be a big thing in the future.
Very cool.
You're going to read after this, huh?
Oh, mate, I'm done.
Yeah, I did. I just thought.
Yeah, it was interesting. Well, I on Thursday, I met a solicitor and he had a decent sized firm. It was his business. It's his own business. And I think he employs, 30, 40 people, whatever it might be. And we're talking about this from a perspective of, how do you reckon AI is going to affect your business? And he goes, look, there's going to be an issue in our industry. He goes, because at the moment we're not employing junior kids anymore. He goes, we're just not employing people out of university. He goes, because I can get one person utilize AI, like a ChatGPT or something like that, and that can do the work of 10 juniors now. And whilst that suits the business now, it's great. Our overheads are less because I don't need to employ as many people, and we're utilizing that skill set. Because the problem is going to be in 10 to 15 years' time, where all these juniors that we're not training, that we're not growing, that we're not employing, are not going to be around to be a senior solicitor. And then we're not going to have the people that can go to court and do all these sorts of things. So that in itself is the dumbing of the industry in that particular sector as well. So it's a similar type thing.
Yeah, but is that going to matter?
I don't know. Is the AI going to be the one that stands up in court and argues for you? Do you know what I mean? Like at what point?
The judge will be our.
Exactly right. There's that movie. Have you seen of course you've seen it, Chris Pratt, where the judge is now an AI thing and it puts you as the person in front of the judge and you have to prove to the AI that you're not guilty through all the means necessary. It was an interesting concept, but that's very much what it could be.
Yeah, and then I think like you'll both put your pitch forward and then it'll ask for context and you both will put it forward and
yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. That's just one industry.
Lawyers not going to be a thing. Accountants are not going to be a thing.
Yeah, I know. That's another one that's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, bookkeepers, man. I've been saying this for a while now. Yeah. Bookkeepers. I think your time is probably so limited you could count it on one hand.
Wow. That's it. There's going to be plenty of those things.
Platforms now have already got auto reconciling and auto, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, if the platforms built it into their own thing now, like, I don't need you to come in and do the same way you don't need a fucking flight agent. I was talking to someone yesterday and they're booking the whole Europe trip by themselves.
Man, yesterday, literally, I went on to chat and I was like, because I'm going to Adelaide next month for work and I'm going to meet a few people there. And I was like, I don't know where to stay in Adelaide. I'm like, hey, where's a nice hotel CBD that I can stay? And I just put it in and it goes, this. I'm like, okay, what about this one? Whereabouts is it located? It's like, yeah, really good spot. It's close to shops, close to food, close to blah, blah, blah. Very central, bang. And then I went online, booked it, done. And normally you'd have to call up Flight Centre and say, hey, where do I stay? Where do I go? What do I do? Or you put it into Google, right? But at least I got that personalised service through that. So
let me ask you a question. What's going to happen when you don't ask for information, you ask for action, and you say, "Hey, book me
Yeah.
a thing." It's, you
Yeah,
know,
the
you know
ease of
everything about
things.
me.
Yeah.
You know me better than I know me.
Mm.
Like, and it says, "Hey, George, I booked it here because I know you like to eat at this restaurant, and I've also booked you dinner there.
Yeah.
And I booked this, and I told them to make sure that the aircon's at this temperature and don't leave chocolates in the room so you're not tempted."
That's right. I'd fire my PA. Do you know what I mean? Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wild
Cool.
times.
Yeah, wild times. Well, that went a little bit sideways, but that's all good. I did have a topic I wanted to speak to you about today, and that was business partners. So how you work and how you select and how you operate with another person in your business. That was the topic I did want to speak to you about today, because I think a business partner can be a really, really powerful tool and asset in a company. Now, whether that's a 50-50 split or not, but also I think it can be absolutely detrimental.
Yes.
Absolutely detrimental.
Define. So, what's your definition of a business partner? Like someone who owns...
I would say having an ownership. You have to have
Ownership of the
ownership.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think in an ideal world, say it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Let's base this conversation off of a 50-50 split, because I think if it's not 50-50, then it's really one person has more vested interest than the other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if it's a 30-70 split, they have ownership, but is the full responsibility with them? No. So I think that's important to differentiate. So let's just base it off a 50-50 split. Now, in saying that, I also think in a partnership like that, it sometimes can be beneficial to have a 51-49 split. Reason I say is if there is ever a decision that has to be made and you're both at a roadblock and you can't go forward, that's really detrimental too. I think you've always got to have an avenue where you can move forward, whether it's a third-party independent person that you can go with. So say it's 50-50, you go, cool, we can't make a decision right here. We need to go to a third party to make the decision for us. We'll give them the information, the resources. They might see our blind spot and then go, right, George, Robbie, you're going in that direction.
What sort of third party?
Now, it can, I don't know, an independent
Like an advisor.
Yeah, an advisor. It could be a business advisor, a mentor. It could be an expert in that field. So say it's an accounting issue. We'll go see the accountant. You need to make a decision because I think we've got to spend this. He thinks we've got to spend that. What do we do? And then you can get the professional advice and make a decision from there. So if you don't have the 51-49, which is totally fine, I think having an agreement in place to go this, I think that's important.
Yeah, so ultimately if there is a disagreement that one person has say over the other.
Yeah, but even then that can at times build resentment as well. So maybe it's even better to have an external party.
Yeah, I also think though it's important that I think it's important that one person drives. Yeah,
Yes, I think so too.
We were speaking about a business before where there are multiple business partners and you don't know who is in charge.
Yeah.
Like when I say you don't know who's in charge, like you genuinely do not know who's in charge.
Yeah, you have to call three people.
We've both worked with them and I can email one and get a reply from the other.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I'll reply to that person and then the other one replies.
Yeah,
it's like, who am I talking to here? Who makes this decision? Do you know what I mean? Because right now I got no idea. It's like, have you ever tried to have three people drive a car? It's fucking hard.
You do the gears, I'll do the clutch and you steer.
Hey, have you ever done that?
Oh, I've driven and a person changed gears for me, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
For those that don't understand, there's a manual transmission in a vehicle.
I remember. This is a funny
So I'd
story.
be eating Macca's in one hand, driving. I go, hey, he changed the gear for me. I put the clutch in.
We used to have, one of my friends used to have a ute. It was just like a 3-seater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The only way you could sit comfortably in the middle
Yeah.
was if you had your right leg.
Yeah. Either side of the gears.
Yeah, so you're either side of the gear stick. So then what we used to do, and it was never a smooth ride when we did this, but we used to be like, let me be your clutch. And it's like,
Oh, no. The clutch.
and it's like, yeah, and it's like, this is a hard thing because you need to.
Yeah, the clutch is
And it's
fucked.
like, let me be your clutch. And you're like, go, go, go.
This sounds romantic.
It's not. It's fucking horrible.
Life-threatening.
Yeah, because then there's a person in the passenger seat that
Yeah,
thinks
well,
they're about to die.
all
And they have
partnership.
no control.
Yeah.
Yeah, very funny, very silly
Yeah.
things you used to do back in the day.
Didn't we all just do things like that? I have another thing you should have as a business partner. often we'd be like, hey, Robbie, let's get into business. We're friends. We do this. This is great. We get along well. Let's get into business together. Put it in paper. Put it on paper.
100%.
Have an agreement in place, like a proper drafted agreement, be a solicitor or AI, whatever it is. It's an agreement between two parties to say, this is what we do. This is what we're about. This is what happens if Robbie wants to sell his business or wants to sell out of the business. This is the process. He can't sell it to his brother, his cousin, his mum, his friend. He has to sell it back to me.
Yeah, lay out all of the possible scenarios up front.
Yeah.
And I think having it on paper, like, because like in that moment, you agree on something.
Yeah.
Circumstances change, life changes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People change.
It's kind of like, it's like a prenup almost, you know? It's like you're agreeing to what happens with what everyone brings into the party and all that sort of stuff.
But by the way, I am so pro prenup.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm listening to a podcast at the moment. I don't know if you're listening to it too, on Chris Williamson, and he's that famous lawyer guy, that divorce lawyer with all the tats. Have you seen him?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
The New York lawyer.
Yeah, that guy. And I'm listening to the podcast at the moment. And he put it the best way that I could understand. He goes, he reckons he wants to just normalize prenups in any scenario, every case.
Yeah,
He goes,
why not?
Having a prenup isn't me trying to screw you over. He goes, it's actually my way of protecting you even from me. All right. He goes, because if you get into a relationship for 10 years, right, so everything prior is yours. That's fine. But if you're in a relationship for 10 years and let's just say that traditionally the man provides, the man does everything he's got to do. He makes a lot of money during that time or a little bit, whatever it is. And the woman sacrifices her career to raise the children, right? So for 10 years, her earning capacity is completely gone.
Yeah.
Now, it's not fair that the man can just take all the money, take everything he's got. He's got his business, he's got his career, she'll get a bit of money and that's it. So this is a fair and proper way for I love you so much that I want to look after you in the event that this doesn't work out. Right now, I love you more than anything. Maybe in 10 years' time, it's a possibility. We're not together. Now, I want to protect you now from 10 years' time. And vice versa. Like she would be doing the same thing. Yeah, you're right. Look, you've accumulated all this wealth, all this success, all this business, whatever it might be. I want to protect you from me in the future. So I thought that was a fantastic way to look at it. And that's kind of like an agreement between two partners in a business is the same thing as well. Hey, we're mates right now. I want to protect you from me and protect our friendship. Because if it's in writing and we agree because we're both clear of mind and sound of mind right now, we have the right intentions, I'm not trying to screw you over, okay? My intention as your friend, as a potential business partner today is not to screw you over. In 10 years, it might be. So I'm going to protect you from 10 years from now, George.
Yeah, I think that's one angle you can look at it from.
Yeah, that's one. But it's also something that's fair and reasonable.
I'll tell you a great angle I heard it from. Someone said, I can't remember, it might have been, maybe it was Patrick Bet-David.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, not 100%. But he said, and this was the thing where I was like, this makes so much sense. He's like, you have a prenup agreement anyway.
Yes.
It's just written by the government.
The same guy said it.
Yeah. He's like, it's just written by the government.
That's right. There's already one there.
Why don't you just have your own that you both agree to? He's like, why would you go, like, he goes, the government's going to decide what happens later.
That's exactly what a
unless you
prenup
guys
is.
Decide what happens.
Yeah. It's even like the kids and everything, the assets, like how everything is split.
He's like,
the government's already decided what that's going to be.
Because the biggest pushback is, you're banking on the relationship failing, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's already something in place if it fails.
Yeah.
So it's like having your own thing in place is not negative or bad or, you know what I mean? You're not fucking unromantic by having something in place.
I completely agree.
You have something in place purely, and again, it's not about, it's about protection of both parties.
Yes,
That's
exactly that.
It's protection of both parties.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? And like most men, okay, so I think I can say this for most men, if you're going through a divorce, especially if you've got kids, like you don't want that person to be, you want your kids to be okay.
Yeah, of course.
You want that person to have what they need to be sufficient to raise your kids. And I'm not talking about like fucking food stamps and just making sure they can eat. I'm talking about making sure they're comfortable so they can actually focus on
life,
children.
Yeah, and living. Yeah, exactly right.
And not have to worry about survival.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I'm so fucking, pro.
Me too.
So
Me
pro
too.
prenup.
In saying that, I never got one, but yeah. But I bet these are the years that have come since. I didn't know anything any better back then.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I'm sure back then everyone, if I said, hey, let's get a prenup, and mind you, it's not like I was at 27 when I got married, I was fully set up in my life and had millions of dollars worth of assets or anything like that. So it's probably also a matter of, well, we're kind of starting our life together anyway, and we're starting from zero. So let's just go. It's going to be 50-50 regardless. But again, what's to say it's not? What's to say someone gets really nasty at the end and goes, nah, fuck you, I'm going for everything.
That's what I'm
you
saying,
bashed me. I'm coming for everything. And that's not true, but you've got to prove it wrong and all these sorts of shit.
And you hear so many
oh, well, we had a mate that went through the worst of the worst, you know, and it was phenomenal. It became like his case was so bad that it became case law, you know, and in his favor. Like it was just horrible what he went through. And it's like, that was, you know, 3, 4, 5 years worth of fucking pain and heartache and money and everything.
He had a positive outcome though.
He had it in the end, yeah. But man, touch wood. What if he killed himself halfway through? All right, because of the stress, because it was immense what he went through, you know. And it's like, well, had you had that agreement before you started, it probably would have got rid of a lot of that stuff within 6 months.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, side note. But yeah, having an agreement in place, I think, is critically important before you even start your business, or within, you know, the first 6 months, whatever it is. Get through that honeymoon period and go, cool, let's have our agreement now. This is what we need to do.
Yeah, I think that's super important.
What else?
I think it's also super important to make sure you aren't the same person.
Yeah. So how would you go about doing that from day one to day 500?
Yeah, so I think when you're partnering with someone, they have to bring something to the table that you don't currently have.
Yes.
You know, and whatever that can be one of, I think it's 4 or 5 things. I'm going to rattle them off. So one could be time. It might be like, hey man, like, you know, we're going to do this thing together. I've got no time. You know what I mean? You've got time. I need you to dedicate time and drive this thing. Another one could be money. It's like, hey, I want to kick this thing off. I'll fund it. You drive it. Another one could be knowledge. And it's like, I need someone here. I know how to do it. I'm lacking time and money. Or money sorted, you know, where I'm lacking time. I will teach you, but I need you to drive it. Right? Or I'll guide you. I'll be your mentor on this journey, but it'll be a partnership from an equity standpoint.
There's also sweat equity too. So actually putting in the work, both one or both parties.
Yeah. So sweat equity being the way you obtain the equity. What have I said so far? Time, money, knowledge, network. So like resources. So they might have access to tools, people, skills that you don't have access to.
Yeah.
And I think that's all 4, man. And I think that it's like they have to bring something to the table that you don't have.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what the fuck are you like? We're just doing this for fun?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important that the defined roles are really clear and what everyone does, because I think it can build resentment too. And I've seen that with other people in business where they'll be like, okay, one party goes for coffees every day, goes for lunch every day, lives a high life, you know, drives a nice car, wears a suit, whatever it might be, just goes for coffees, enjoys his life. And then the other person's in the office or on site or whatever, and they're fucking working hard like a dog. And they look at him and go, fucking look at this. What a life he's got. You know, I'm doing all the work, breaking my back, and he's just out having coffees all day. But meanwhile, this person having coffees all day is like, I'm the mover, I'm the shaker, I'm the deal maker. I'm going to go there and have a coffee with this person, because when I have that coffee with this person, he introduces me here and he goes, guess what? I just got us a job that made us $5 million and you're doing the hammering of the nails or whatever it might be. But then this person's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's not fucking
or he's not doing anything. Oh, what a life. And then, but this guy's like, hey, I just made us $5 million in revenue, bloke. What have you done recently? You know, so it's like,
this doesn't exist.
No, that's right. This is only here because I've gone out to make coffees. And then there's that disconnect, all right? Is the partnership there or is it not? That's I'm hearing that feedback.
Yeah. What's
buzzing? I don't know.
Might have to pause, dude. That's fucking quite significant.
Will it come up on the show? Yeah, okay.
1 second.
Okay, pause. Needs some intermission. Nope, stopped. That's definitely stopped.
And we're back.
Action.
All right, should we remove that? Yeah, probably.
If you
Probably
want,
not.
don't give a fuck.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want, guys. So yeah, you're going to have that disconnect between you if you don't have clearly defined roles, and making sure that everyone understands this is what I bring to the table. Hey, I'm not putting nails into timber. I need you to understand that. Yeah, my skill set is here. I will keep bringing you the work. I will keep doing all this, and this. That is what you need to do. You're the operator. I'm the no, you're the one doing the actual execution. I'll bring in the work and operations or whatever it might be.
There's a really good set of books. I've read some of them. They're from the EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of them is called Traction. You should read it. It's great. Like it's just a really good practical, like this is how to fucking do meetings.
Yeah.
This is how, you know what I mean? Like this is how your organization chart should be laid out. This is what you need to do from a values and blah, blah, blah standpoint. And they talk about one of their models. They talk about having the visionary and the integrator in a business. And they got a book dedicated to that. It's called Rocket Fuel.
Oh yeah, you've told me about that.
Rocket Fuel?
Yeah, the book.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
Yeah, I think I
Hey,
might have it.
where's my book, man?
I thought it was a gift. Do you want it back?
No, sorry, keep it.
I use it as a paperweight.
Yeah, at least it's at least one of us is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're talking about visionary integrator, right? And it's like, cool, one person is the person that drives the direction, and the other person is the person that actually, makes the shit because like a visionary can sit there and talk all day, and if nothing happens, nothing happens. And an integrator can sit there and work all day, but if they're working on the wrong things or not going in the right direction, it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
And they're talking about how they work together and how, whilst they're both very separate roles, they're both very important roles. And
That's right.
one can look like, like the integrator in that scenario can look like they are working way more, because the visionary is a visionary, but like the integrator without the visionary is nothing. Yeah, I mean, you can sit there running on a treadmill all day and you're not going to get very far. You lose weight. You won't get far though. And I thought that's really interesting because then it's like, that's clearly defined roles.
Yeah.
That's like, hey man, I'm doing this, you're doing that. And touching on that as well, I think something that's super important, and people don't do this at the start of a business, is people should be paid based on what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to separate profits from pay.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So if
absolutely.
if one person's working in the business,
Yeah.
and the other person is just an equity holder,
Yeah, or a silent
the person
partner
who's
or whatever
working
it
in
is.
the business should receive a salary.
Yes, without a doubt.
The person who's dedicating more time should be paid more. If someone works in the business 1 day a week and the other one works 5 days a week, they should be paid based on
their actual hours.
Yeah.
Like, think of it as an employee to the business. They are a cog to the business.
You got to. Someone, I can't remember who it was. They used this term with me. They're like, my goal is to make myself redundant in my business. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I replace me at every point in time? Like right now, I'm doing this thing. How do I pay someone else to do this thing?
Yeah.
So I don't have to do this thing.
Yep.
And
I think about that a lot.
it's like, that's the best kind of business, dude.
Yeah, like as I said, I've got a 5-year plan not to be at Pascon anymore.
Yeah.
That's my 5-year plan. And it's like, well, I've got to start laying that out, and I'll have a chat with my GM when the time comes. But I want to say this is the 5-year plan as far as me not being in the business. And like yesterday, I was speaking to accounts and I was like, cool, I'm going to start getting you to do more of this because I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want that to be a part of my role, and I don't want that to be a part of our day-to-day operations. I'm going to upskill you to do this element of that process. And that's just one thing I can take off my plate, and it's all under control, and I know that that's going to be done. And I'm like, great, now what's the next thing I can take off my plate? And I go here, and I'll get, because in construction, I get lots of people emailing me. And like, you said the other day, you just said now we had that one company that you have 3 different people that you would email, and different people would respond and give conflicting messages and all that sort of shit. People message me now from a trade base. They'll email me about X, Y, Z, and they're like, hey, don't call me. Like this, I go, please speak with this person regarding this. I'm not your person to speak to. I had a contractor call me the other day, and he's like, oh, I'm just going to have guys there on site on Monday. I said, why are you talking to me? I said, hey, that's great. I'm glad you're pushing the job. You need to coordinate it with the supervisor, not with me. I have no idea about what he has organized. He might have a crane booked for that day. He might have the road blocked. He might have 1,001 things. And I'm not going to tell you, yes, go ahead and do it. And then I fuck up his day. But also, I'm doing other shit. I'm over here.
It's not my role.
It's not my role. So I want to make myself redundant from a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually had that when I first started my business. My dad was working with me as a construction manager, and people will often play us off each other. They'd be like, oh, George told me it's okay to do this. And my old man would be like, I don't give a fuck what George says. I'm on site. You fucking speak to me. And then vice versa. They'd go on to him and say, or they'd come to me and say, oh, Steve wants me to, said I should be here on Tuesday and I'm going to come Wednesday. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever you guys said. And then I'd speak to my old man. He's like, I never fucking told him that. He goes, he's just spoken to you. And so we made really clear defined roles with all our stakeholders in the business, subbies, suppliers, employees. This is what he does. This is what I do. Go. Don't speak to us about anything operation. Don't speak to me about operations. I don't know. I don't care. I care that he's doing it, but I don't care for me to do it. So I think that's really important to have your clearly defined roles in what you do in the business.
Yeah. I think that's super, super, super important. Otherwise, again, that you, like you said, you can build that level of resentment and start to think, man, like I'm fucking, I'm doing all the fucking work here and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and if you're getting remunerated for that work, fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
do you know what I mean? You can be like, hey, I'm getting a salary. That's fine. Like I should be, I'm working hard. Yes.
Yeah. I'm working.
So there's no disconnect from that.
Yeah, I think that's very important. What else?
There was something else. Oh, what skill sets are you actually bringing? So let's just say you and me we're going into a business and we're going to start a media company. Okay. I'm really good with camera and you're really good with sales. Okay. So I think that's a good partnership straight up. If we're just starting it up,
like,
because
I can do
I
can bring in the work and you can deliver.
I can go and film. I'm a great editor. I'm a great shooter. I can do all that sort of stuff. You can run the ads. You can get the clients. Bang. What a great partnership. We both are bringing strengths. I give you a camera and you're like, which button do I press for play? And like, hey, don't touch it. You'll break it. But vice versa, like I'll be like, oh, hey, I want to film a job. Oh, okay. I think we charge $150 for something like that. And then you come at me and you start yelling at me. What the fuck? $150 doesn't pay for our trip to site.
$150 just to talk to you.
That's right. So having different skill sets and the way you do things. Now, or it could be from a perspective of I'm really good at delegating, directing people, and you might be really good at the systems, at the process, at the paperwork side of things. I'm just good with the people and the delegation and the directions and all that sort of stuff, but you're really good at the systems, processes, deliverables. So I think in your business, what strengths do you both bring? And do you cover each other's weaknesses so that you're both killing it in that space? For me in my business at the moment, I don't need another me. I don't need someone that can do sales, that can speak to people, that's influential, that drives the business. I need operators. I need someone that's going to do the do on a day-to-day basis.
On the ground.
Yeah, I need the ground people. That's what I need. So I'm not going to bring a business partner in that's exactly like me. It's just not beneficial to the business. So that's who I would be looking for.
Until you're ready to make yourself redundant.
That's right. Until I get to the point where I'm going, hey, I don't want to talk to people anymore. I don't want to do sales. I don't want to do hiring and firing.
Yeah. I think skill set's one element. I think the other side's personality.
Yeah.
So I think value alignment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think you have to, and this is, I used to work with someone prior, and this was how I got introduced to the whole funnels and that, right? And we went into business together, and we were good friends, and we wanted really different things. We didn't know that until we started. So. And when I say we wanted really different things, like I wanted to build a big company and blah, blah, blah. And this person wanted to have a lifestyle business. neither of them is right or wrong. They're just different, right? Now, if I want to build a company with 100 people and do $100 million and blah, 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 and you want to do the best you can to work 4 hours a week, we're going to clash, right? Neither of them is right or wrong. They are just super, super, super different.
Yeah.
And yeah, we chose to part ways pretty quickly.
Smart.
Yeah, it was. But it was also like hey man, like this is gonna get in the way. It's either save the relationship and burn the business, or we can try and save the business and end up probably burning the relationship.
Yeah.
Then we chose to burn the business and save the relationship.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
I recently I've got a friend who I'm trying to get onto the podcast actually, and he'll be here soon. He's keeps brushing us off, but I'll fucking get you. But
I have no idea what you're talking
it's all right. Recently, he's been in business for 10 years with a business partner and recently split, right? As far as sold his portion of the business to his business partner. Now, they've been friends for 20 years. They've been in business together for 10 years, and they've known nothing else other than each other in business for the last, since they've been out and doing it themselves. And outside of looking in, I don't know much of the details. I just know high level stuff, but it was an amicable split. They did they did it fair and reasonable. They went and got external people. They said, this is what I think the business is worth. This is what I think the business is worth. They kind of went back and forth a little bit and said, look, do we really want to go spend $30,000 on our accountant to do an in-depth analysis and see what the business is worth when we're just talking about $30,000? Let's just split it in the middle. That's what I think it's worth. That's what you think it's worth. You pay me that, and vice versa. And then you own 100%. And they ended up going down the path of selling the business to the other business owner, and it was amicable.
What was the reason? I don't know if you can share this, but what was the reason for the split?
The reason was life changes. So I won't go into it. He can say the story. But it was a time that the other person wanted out. I think there might have been an element of it being enough as well. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I've run my race.
So one person wanted out.
Yeah, one person wanted out. Yeah. And just other lifestyle factors too. And it's like, look, I think I'm ready to move on. And they had that conversation. We're like, cool, let's do this.
That's like a very fair, because like
it was
the reason
fair.
why most people split is kind of like fuck you, man. I'm gonna open
that.
up next door. I'm gonna fucking show you. Blah blah blah.
None of that at all. And if anything, it's like they'll still do business together as contracting to each other in the future. And say, hey, if you ever need this, or I'm going to get some clients come my way, because this guy's a mover and a shaker. He was in the business. He was the one that that brought a lot of the deals in.
Yeah.
And the other guy was the one that was more operational. So he goes, look, I don't want to do this anymore, but I still get a lot of people coming my way. I'll send them to you. So that way you can still get that, and you just give me a finder's fee for every successful project you land or whatever it might be. So there's, I think that was great to see. That was great to see that these guys came together and then split amicably as well, and are still friends now. Right? So not only did they manage to part ways in the business, they've also managed to keep the relationship. So they didn't have to burn the business to save the relationship, or vice versa. Burn the relationship, but save the business. So I thought that was fantastic to see. You don't often hear it these days.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the divorce thing.
Yeah, it's same thing. You often don't hear, look, sometimes you do hear about amicable divorces, and just everyone's like, no, cool, let's go this way. Let's go, yeah, cool, we'll still hang out.
Not often though.
No, it's like very rare where it's they still remain friends or on talking terms. And I've even heard of some people where they still go away together, but with their new partners. So all the kids are together. I've heard.
That's weird.
I know, but like, okay, cool. If you're still having that relationship, I think it's fucked. But
that is weird. It's weird.
But if you're okay with that, then
you're weird.
Yeah, then you're weird. But in the same token, is it better to be in full hate and discuss?
It is definitely
do you know what I mean?
Better scenario.
It's a better scenario, isn't it?
Then
then I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take the house. I'm going to burn all our savings on court.
Restraining order.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So
it's definitely a better scenario. But yeah, I guess that all comes down to the reason.
Yeah, correct.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, why are they splitting?
Yeah, like imagine you find out, for example, you find out your business partner's stealing.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I'm sure in that instance, the split wouldn't be like, oh, let's be reasonable.
Yeah,
I'll give
that's
you 50%.
what I'm saying. Because you're like, hey, you're a fucking dog.
You just
And-
funneled $300,000 out of
Yeah.
our account to go fund your cocaine fucking addiction.
Why did we both get a
I don't know.
All
right. So like, no, you're done. I'm taking you to the cleaners. I'm suing you. I'm doing this. You're out of the business.
That's what I'm
but
saying,
then you should also have a clause in there if something like that happens in your agreement.
If
right?
you funnel
$300,000
$300,000 for cocaine, this is what happens.
This is the cocaine clause.
Yeah.
Like this is the cocaine and hookers clause. That's what it is, But as silly as it sounds, like Mosey says, like don't leave anything to chance. Try and cover as many bases as you possibly can in that moment to protect you in the future if one of you goes off the rails.
A wise man once said to me, you don't need a contract until you need a contract.
That's right. That's right. What a guy.
And I was saying to someone the other day, so we have contractor agreements we put in place with anyone that we get as a contractor.
Yep.
And so like, for example, if we're going to get a contractor to shoot some photos or do videography, etc., they sign an agreement, blah, blah, blah. We've never had anyone do anything wrong. If we did, we're covered because we've got a contractor agreement. But the question becomes like, have they not done anything wrong because there's an agreement in place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it because I was talking to someone the other day, is it because you send them the agreement, they sign it, all of a sudden they're on good behavior?
Without a doubt.
You know,
there is a
they're
level
like,
of that for
"Fuck,
sure.
I've signed something
Yeah,
here.
it's
These
funny.
guys have one up on me.
It is funny how that changes the psychology of people and how they act.
Yeah, for sure.
And I recently used that to my advantage. I had a person who didn't want to complete his obligation under the contract, and I used it against him. He's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I said, you don't have an option, my friend. Like you're doing this or I'm suing you. Like you have the option. There's always options. You have three. You do the work and we split amicably. You pay me out the contract because I'm going to now have to engage someone else to do the work, or I sue you and I will win because you're blatantly walking away from an agreement that you have an obligation to fulfill. Right? And your change of circumstance doesn't change your obligations to the contract. And I used that to him, and as a result, the person came back and finished. Now, that was a great result for both parties. Okay, I'm glad he
Oh, did they
decided
come
to-
back and finish?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah. Well, only because I had to play my hand. I was like, hey, I'm at my wit's end with people at the moment when it comes to stuff like that, from clients to subbies to all that sort of stuff.
That's a fucking great
It was
story.
a fantastic result.
Yeah.
It wasn't me trying to screw him over. Honestly,
No,
I
you're
told
trying to get the
him
job
I'm trying to
done,
help
dude.
him.
Yeah.
I said I'm here to help you. If you need, I'll give you
dude,
my
but
apprentice.
On top of that, you
can
need to
have
get the job done.
I have an obligation. I have a contractual obligation
With a
to my client.
Yeah.
All right, they're not going to turn around and say, "Oh, your plumber's not coming back." Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I understand.
So we don't need
That's all right.
that.
We don't
That's
need
second
plumbing.
toilet.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Didn't need
Just
that.
bug, like if I patch up the
put a
hole.
bucket.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
We'll move on.
So yeah, I had to use it, and that was a great result for everyone because if I just shook his hand, all right, and said, "Oh, you're the plumber, well done on this job," I try to call him and say, "Hey, where are you?" I'm done, man.
Work it out. Yeah.
Yeah, sort it out. Sorry.
That is, dude. That you have to tell this. You have to share that story. Like that
We've
is
got Build the Summer coming up. Might
that's a
share it there.
great story.
Might share it
to
then.
say like this is what happened, and had I not had this in place, I would have been fucked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I would have turned around and complained about the industry and said I'm not making enough
trades are
money and blah,
fucked and
trades are
blah, blah,
fucked.
blah, and
and
everything
then
else
and
is
then
my
every
fault.
other plumber I then go and work with is going to get the worst of me.
Yeah.
Because I've been stooged by a plumber, and I'm going to be like, what if this guy does it to me? What if this guy does it to me? But it's all because I didn't have the right systems and processes in place to make sure that I'm covered from that.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
great. That's good. That's fucking.
Two great
I didn't know that. I
stories.
didn't even know that.
Two great stories. How good.
That's a great outcome.
Yeah.
Going back to the values thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you have to have an alignment on values. I think you have to want the same stuff and you have to value the same things. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
If there's two people that work together and one is like, I want to work with, I want to work with people who are passionate and blah, 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 and I care for my clients. And then the other one's like, fuck the clients, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to clash.
Yep.
If one person is like, I care about my team, blah, 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 and the other one's like, fuck them slaves, employees, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're going to clash. You know what I mean? You need to have alignment on those things and what's going to be the things, like, what are we trying to do here? Do you know what I mean? What's driving us forward? What's the purpose? And you need to have alignment on that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I reckon that can build resentment over time as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's both sides to it. I think there's the skill set side, and then there's the personality side.
Yeah.
Find out, are you both fucking what's it called? Alpha.
Yeah.
Are you both going to be in the business, both, trying to be a top dog inside the business, and then you're going to clash. And then what happens when you clash? All your employees see it. It's like when your parents are fighting and they're trying to pretend like everything's okay, but it's not. And then you two are butting heads and they're saying, and then they start to play you off each other. Oh, but he said, she said, he said, blah, blah, blah. And it just, it's a slippery slope.
Absolutely. I think also, let's just say you're in business and you're wildly successful. You hit the big time, you make heaps of money, heaps of coin. I think it's going to be important that you understand as well, how do we split money? How do we spend money? Can I go buy a car without asking you? Can I go and buy milk without asking you? Like, at what point do we need to reconcile and come together and say, hey, what can and can't we do with the business money, with the profits, with whatever it might be? Can I go on a holiday? Can I use the Amex? Can I use the Amex for the whole trip? Can I buy flights on the card? Can I buy my accommodation and food and all that sort of shit? Like, at what point? Because you don't want to then go and do that thinking, oh, I'm entitled to this. We made good money this year. Whilst the other person's at the office going, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
he just spent $2,000 on Disneyland tickets.
Just
like,
bought
what the
all
fuck?
this jazz. Yeah, that's a good point. You should have a set of guidelines, like maybe a threshold on what like anything sub X, you just process. Anything over X,
let's have a conversation.
let's have a conversation. Let's have approval. I think, and also I know someone who had this built into their, I think you can build it into either Zero or something, or maybe it's internal process. I'm not sure how they made it operate, but anything like they run a successful company, and anything over, I think it was 5K couldn't be. So anything sub 5K could work.
Yeah.
Anything over 5K required, you couldn't process the payment.
Yeah.
So you couldn't.
You can probably put a block on your card like that, or a hold point or something like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't a daily limit. I think it was like a single transaction of like, so cool. Like, if you need to pay all the suppliers, you need to pay them $1,000, $1,000, $2,000, whatever. You can do that. Like, but anything sub, like if you're going to go pay a $27,000 invoice, that needs to be approved.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because how do I know that invoice isn't from your brother and going, then you're splitting it later.
And you need to have, when you got a company that's, doing, because you, like, I don't know, I still control accounts now, but like, the goal is to get to the point where you don't. You know what I mean? And then it's like, well, what processes do you have in place that allow you to keep your finger on the pulse? You can still see everything, but you're not doing the do. You know what I mean? And then speaking on that, actually, I think a good thing to do regularly is to review numbers. You know what I mean? Sit down and say, okay, cool. Like, what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
And sometimes that conversation in and of itself can be the thing that allows you to move forward.
Yeah.
And then if there is any leaky holes, numbers don't lie.
No, exactly right. And if you have that on a regular basis, I think you've got to have that on a regular basis as business partners. Have a monthly catch up where you go through numbers, or weekly, or whatever you want to do, or quarterly. Like, you've just got to know where the numbers are at and what direction you're going in. Because, as I said, it could be a blind spot that one person's not seeing that the other will. And it could just be a real quick, simple fix that has a huge effect on your bottom line. So I think that's critically important when in business, whether it's with someone or without someone, to do that check anyway.
Yeah, I agree. What
Very
else?
good.
What else is important? So we've spoken about skills. We've spoken about personality. We've spoken about agreements. We've spoken about numbers. Is there anything else that's super important? What do you do if you're in a bad one? Right now, someone listening to this is like, man, everything you just explained.
I know, it's like the complete
Yeah, it's like
opposite.
I'm in the complete opposite.
This
Business
they
relationship.
just
right
took
now.
money out for cocaine.
Yeah, they've just
Like-
literally they just ticked over 300K.
Yeah. What do I do?
They spend expenses on everything and anything.
Yeah.
They
Well,
I'm-
you've got to, if you're in that extreme scenario.
Yeah,
you've
maybe not
got-
that extreme,
Yeah,
but
but
what if-
okay, let's just say you've got some irritants in your business, right? Some things that are irritating you that the other business partner is doing. You've got to have the conversation. And it's not too late to get an agreement in place. It's not too late. You could be 5 years in. Okay, say, hey, look, I want to have an open chat with you about X, Y, Z. This is irritating me. It never used to, but now it does. I just want to have the discussion because I don't want to hold it in, and then in next year I'm going to turn around and be like,
this is bothering.
this is fucked, and lose it at you, and it's not even your fault. You don't even know what you're doing, and
Yeah.
vice versa. Is there anything that I'm doing that annoys you? So I think you have to have the conversation, all right? And it might be uncomfortable. Well, fucking get used to it, bloke. It's business, okay? It's not your children. It's not you just having fun. This is an element of discomfort, and having difficult conversations is part of the process.
You'll be better for it.
You'll be so much better for it.
Yeah.
There'll be like you will feel 10 times better walking out of that conversation than when you walked in. So having that, you can use these dot points, all right? Everything we've spoken about today. Say, hey, these are the high level things that we need to speak about. I just want to have a really clear direction, because if we're going to make this work, because why are we in business, right? What are we here for? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to achieve? Do you want to work your 4 hours, or do you want to make some fucking bank? Because I'm here to make bank.
And
right?
that's why it's important to make sure that you both want
Yeah.
the same.
And the
we want the same
conversation
thing in
could
5
be,
years, yeah.
it could be, hey, I don't want that.
Yeah, or it could be
Like
I
that's
don't
a
want that
good result
anymore.
too. Yeah, I don't want this. I can't. The reason I've dropped off over the last 6 months is I'm mentally checked out. I can't fucking do this job anymore. Like I'm sorry, man. I've just been dropping the ball, but I just don't give a fuck. I've got this going on at home. I've got this going on with my friends. I just don't like what I do anymore, and I want out. And then, okay, good. Then you've got some clarity. You got some direction. You go, okay, man. Well, let's get the process of getting you out of the business. Like, let's see what that looks like. And then you have those. But look, hopefully at that stage, it's still amicable, because then he might turn around and say, yeah, well, look, I do most of the work, so I want about 80% I want you to buy me out for 80% of the business. And then you've got a problem. All right. So we want to try and avoid these types of problems, but the sooner you have the conversation in your business partnership, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, and I think
And even if it's good, even if everything is really good, okay, like you don't have to wait for it to get bad before you have this conversation. Let's pretend you're 5 years in, and what a fucking partnership. You guys are killing it. You're doing really well.
Yeah.
You get along great. Coming to work isn't a chore. You enjoy it. Have the fucking conversation still. So, hey, I've been thinking about it. Everything's great. I'm still enjoying everything that I'm doing. I think we've got to have a conversation about just operational stuff and really make things fair and reasonable, because we're growing, and in 5 years' time, you might want to sell out. I might want to sell out. We both might want to sell out. What does that look like? Let's have all these conversations.
and just over communicating throughout the whole process.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like over communication. I read this book called "The 4 Laws of a Corporate Something." I can't remember what the fuck it was called. To be completely honest, I'll give you the proper name. It's called the 4 something. The 4 obsessions of an extraordinary executive.
Yeah.
And one of them was over communication. And I found that really, really cool, because like communication, dude, is like, it's one of the most important things in any dynamic, whether it's a personal relationship, a professional relationship, the way you speak to yourself, you know what I mean, like your thoughts. I think it's one of the most important things, and I think people don't communicate well enough.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know what I mean? Because you're like,
and I've been victim. I must admit, I've been victim of that too.
yeah, I think
I've been a
everyone
poor
has to.
communicator with friends in the past, with my wife, with kids. All right, I haven't told them something that I should have told them, whatever it might be. So I think everyone experiences poor communication at some stage of their
Yeah,
life.
but it's not like, it's not a black white thing.
Yeah,
It's like a spectrum.
yeah,
It's like, on what level are you communicating, and how could you,
yeah.
you know, if you were this end's like you're just a mute, and this end is like you don't shut the fuck up. Which, by the way, you can talk a lot and be a bad communicator.
Yeah.
But you want to find out where you're at on that spectrum and say, okay, cool. How do I?
Yeah, you
how do I
can't
get
over
that little bit-
communicate.
Dude, it's like someone said to me
I
the other
think
day, a message, communication is not what you say, it's what they hear, or something like that. You know, the message, it's not about what I say, it's about how you receive it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I could say, hey man, George, this has been great. This is sick. I'm enjoying this podcast so much. I love this podcast, man. This is great. And I could leave. And then you could be like, well, why do you say that? Does he not like the podcast? And there's people like that. Well, why did he bring that up now?
Yeah,
what made him
like,
say that?
why?
Yeah,
What
is
is
he
he saying?
leaving?
Is
Is
he-
someone
yeah.
dying?
Yeah.
What is going on? And it's like, well, then that's what the message that you got from it is.
Yeah.
Regardless of how I said it, that's what you heard.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's all about what the end person hears. And when you purposefully choose to over communicate, and then something I do with my team as well is like I always tell them like, so you know what to do? So what are you doing now? Like, and then get
funny.
them to repeat it back to me.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, cool. Like, I now know that you understood the thing that I've told you.
Yeah.
Because you've just told me what you.
That's so funny. I had that conversation with my PA yesterday. She's like coming in and she's doing some account stuff. And she's like, oh, I've done this. I'm like, yes, but you got to do it like this. And then you have to do it like this. This is receivable. This is payable. And she's like, oh. I'm like, you don't understand. You don't fucking understand, do you? Like, just tell me you don't understand. And she's like, no, but I've got to do it like this. And then I've got to, okay, no. Like this. Anyway, but I think it was the way I was explaining it. All right. So I don't think the way I was communicating it to her was in a way that she understood. So I had to then go back, and because I was getting frustrated too. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm paying. All right. I'm like, what am I paying now? I don't know how much I have to pay. I just want to pay them this much money, but now I have to fucking go and get the invoices, put them together, add them up on calculator, and pay that. I just want it in the system, so I press a button and I pay them. And I know I'm paying them exactly what I owe them, not over, not under. That's what they're getting paid. Okay, but the only way for you to do that is if you upload the invoices, do it like this, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I then had to go back and sort of reframe how I was explaining it to her so she could understand on her end. So yes, it's definitely communication to the person, and how they're receiving it is very important.
I think another thing on communication as well. Communications are great. We could do a whole episode on communication. But communication, the other day, a client sent an email. And it came through to me and another team member. And I read the email. Same fucking words. Yeah. Like words on an email. I read it. The other person read it. The other person went and actioned it. Okay. Which I thought, cool, like, well done. They went, actioned it, and then they came back and they brought the results of the action. And then I looked at the result and I said, hey man, I read this differently. Like, I read this email in this way. You read it in that way. And both of us could be right. But I was right.
Of course.
But what is it that does that? Because even in that moment, I'm like, what is it? Like, is that just, like, am I just better at reading emails than you? Like, what is it? Like, how, I couldn't understand what the lack was there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Look, it could be a whole bunch of things. It could be experiences to date. It could be, again, the interpretation of the words.
Yeah, but so
understanding
what is
of
it
the
that
words.
defines your interpretation of a sentence?
It could be your
I've seen it many
experience, like to
times.
date, like
know
everything
when-
you've experienced in your life.
You ever said something to someone in a way and they take it in a completely different way? Like you say,
Yeah,
are you sick?
I can't think of anything at the moment, but yeah.
This one sits in my head, lives rent free. and you say, "Are you sick?" And they say, "Sick of what?" And you say, "What the fuck? Like, that's not how I meant that."
It was like, are you sick? I'm the fucking sickest.
Yeah. But at least that's kind of close
Yeah.
because you're using sick in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's like you took the sentence and when you're saying sick of what, I didn't say, are you sick of anything?
Yeah.
I'm asking you if you're sick.
Like ill.
Like, yeah.
Have you got a disease?
Yes.
Do you
And they're
need to
like-
stay away?
Yeah. And they're asking if you're bored or something.
Yeah.
And it's like you took that sentence in a whole different way to how I meant it. What is it that, I guess it's context. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, but communication is super important, and regular communication. More regular you do it, the less tedious it becomes. I think you should like the person too.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah, I think if you
Well-
fucking don't like the other individual, I think that's a problem. It's like maybe you didn't like your wife.
Yeah.
That would be a hard relationship,
Yeah, exactly.
even if she was a great mom and
You
did
just
everything.
looked at
you
him and you're
wanted.
like, fuck,
like,
I'm just going to headbutt you when I fucking get home. Just don't
why,
talk to me.
Why breathing so bad?
Like if I pushed you in front of this car now, like what would be curious just to see what would happen? What would bounce more?
Well, on that note,
yeah. But look, hey, this podcast is a partnership.
this podcast is fun.
And I want to bring up some beef with you right now.
Go
If
for
we're
it.
on live. I don't think I get enough screen time on YouTube.
I
I reckon it's more you. I think you're biased to the.
I did tip the team. I'm like, hey guys, it's
Hey.
actually AI. Did you know that?
Well, fuck, get you. Which AI we're using? We're going to just
Did
move
you-
from
did
chat
you know
to Claude or Grok.
It's cut through AI.
Yeah, no, I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know that. But look, I have an issue with that. I think I need a bit more airtime.
You
I
actually
think
get
I'm-
the most screen
I
time.
think I'm better looking. So.
You
I
know-
mean, that makes sense. The AI knows what the go is.
You
Well, we've both lost a few kilos, so we're looking good on camera these days.
you tend to talk more on the podcast.
You know, I think I've noticed that sometimes, and I try not to. So I try shut up. But you ask very
I
good
don't-
questions, which then makes me want to talk.
Yeah, well,
So-
I think that's the key to a.
Yeah, but
The
look, I mean, the partnership here, for example, I have not
Are you enjoying
edited.
this? Are you enjoying
This
this?
is great, mate.
Yeah.
I'm great. Like, don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
This is a great
Now I'm gonna leave
podcast.
and be like,
fuck that guy.
man. Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to do this
Yeah.
anymore. I think I better start looking for a new podcast host. I have not edited a single fucking video out of the 1,000 videos that we've put together, or that you and the team have put together. I couldn't even tell you how.
There is literally over 1,000 videos on YouTube.
We don't
you know
fuck
that, yeah?
around. We don't fuck around. But I couldn't
Isn't
tell
that-
you
that's
how to do
significant.
that. I couldn't tell you what program you use. I couldn't tell you what captions you use. I couldn't tell you we clap at the start. I don't get it. I just do it because I'm pumped. Right? Like, I don't know any of that shit. But that's the partnership. You can do that because that's your skill set, because you have the team around you to do it. I'd be like, hey, how much money does this cost? $500. Cool, here you go.
Yeah.
Or hey, George, we need new mics. Excellent. When do you want? Like, do you want me to buy them on the card? On like, what do you want? Let's do it. Also, it's like, well, we have great conversations. We get along. We're friends. So there's other elements of the podcast that come together when we're doing this stuff, and it's a great partnership. And we're continuing it, and we're going to continue it. And then maybe one day this podcast becomes $1 million days where we're making millions of dollars every month, every day on the podcast, and we don't do our day-to-day job. This is our job. And
I would dive into this immediately. Full time.
no fucking around. What do you think I've been doing this for? For 122 weeks straight.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. We enjoy it. And I'm sure one day it'll change where it does become a monetary thing. But then we need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe say, hey, what happens when this is making $1 million every month in listeners, in sponsors, in all that stuff? Like, how do we spend the money? Do we go get a new studio? Do we go and buy new cars? Do we what are we doing with that money? How do we reinvest? How do we do it? Like, how do we split everything? Because in all honesty, we haven't had that conversation.
For the podcast.
Yeah, for the podcast. We haven't had a conversation, but hey, what happens when this thing makes $1 million a month? What do we do? Like, the general consensus is, well, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do the podcast on the yacht.
Yeah.
That's where we would move it to.
Um,
So, but you'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever, 50-50. Like, that's what it is. Okay. But then you do more editing than me. So should you get 51-49? Like, this is where you start to have the conversations. But maybe it's a matter of doing the conversation now and having that conversation now because there's no disadvantage.
live on the podcast.
There's the live negotiation of profit share of future funds coming in. Yeah, so now's the time to have the conversation then because there's no disadvantage to it. We're both in a good space. Everything's going well. Or maybe one day it turns out, they say, hey, what happens if one of us doesn't want to do this anymore? Like, I just wake up and I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I can't be fucked.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, this is the bane of my existence.
Oh,
I used to love it.
Or
I don't anymore.
sometimes it's like, sometimes it's internal, sometimes it's external.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got an opportunity in the US.
Dubai, yeah.
And I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
And
it.
I'm
There's
taking
$1 million
and I'm
days.
fucking going.
With $1
And-
million days? Or you
Yeah,
say
well,
just
I don't know. That's
maybe,
that's the thing. And it's like, okay, well, what happens in that
Joe
scenario?
called us up. Hey, Joe called me.
What is it?
Joe called me. Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe called me.
Joe called me.
I was like, what's a Joe called? I was like, what is that? I was like, I've never heard
No,
of
Joe, my mate.
Big Joe.
Big J, as his friends call him.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That's okay. Don't stress. You're not in the podcast world. Calls us up. They say, hey, George, I want you to come across. Bring $1 million days here. But that Robbie guy, not so sure. I said, no, come on. He's coming. He's all right. No.
I'll give you my blessings.
But you know what I mean? It's like, hey, come down. Like, we're expanding. I goes, I love you. I love your talk. I love what you guys are on about. Come on the show. Bring it down here. We'll fucking make you massive in America. It's going to be sick. Like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Or maybe you say, hey, I'm going to go. Just me, my missus, we're going to go. I said, dude, I got my kids in school. I got this. I don't know if I can leave everything now to go to the States and live in Vegas and wherever the fuck we're going to do, everything we're going to do. All right. Or we go, yeah, fuck it, let's go. What an adventure. So what do you do in that scenario? Why wait to get into that scenario? Let's have the conversation now for when he calls us and get a plan.
For when Joe calls.
When Joe calls. What's a Joe call?
What's a Joe call? Yeah. So if you are, in a business partnership, and man, I've seen many. I'll tell you who are. At this point, most people know what we're about and what we do. But when I say we, I'm talking about my side of the equation. And most of the partnerships I work with aren't great. Some are fantastic. Some are like always on the same page, and then some are like, man, like you talk to them and you're like, you guys are in complete disagreement here. Like, you know what I mean? And if I catch one of you, you just talk, you rant about the other one.
Yeah, that's bad. I hate that.
Yeah, and it's like,
I've seen that with relationships, like with other people.
yeah, that's tough.
That's fine.
That's not. It's not nice.
No, I've seen it. I've seen people talking to one like about their partner. Like even to my partner, they'll talk to him and say, "Oh, he's fucked." Like the wife will talk about the husband or the girlfriend or whatever it might be. Like, "Oh, he's fucked."
That is
fucked.
not
like,
a nice way to live.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, you're talking about someone you're with. If you don't like that person, don't
do
be with
something
that person.
about it." Yeah, like that's a horrible.
Yeah. And imagine that in business too. That's no good.
Yeah, it's like, like even in relationships, worse, dude. Like you have to go to bed with that person. You have to live in the same. You have to come home to your space of like peace, and this person that you don't like is there. And then like when you live with someone, there is a lot of overlap. They leave something on the bench. They do this. There's a cup in the sink.
Yeah.
The bed's messy. There's fucking hair here.
Yeah.
The shower. Or you will gotta use a bathroom. Bathroom's occupied. All those things, if you disliked the person, all those things would annoy the hell out of you, dude. You know what I mean? You want to watch something, they're watching something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a nice way to spend your limited time on this planet.
Yeah, and it's the same in business though, because a lot of the time you're here more than you're at home as well. So it can be the thing that annoys you here is they left the air conditioner on, or they didn't put the dishwasher on before they left for work, or they forgot to turn the alarm on.
I'm the fucking
they
worst.
didn't lock.
I'm the worst with the dishwasher.
You are the worst. No, I'm the only one that claims it. You should
what?
You should hear me how much I swear at you in the mornings when I have to load the dishwasher.
The times when just know that if you didn't do it and it's done,
It's Josh.
what? It was me. It's always me.
No, I get pumped when I see it done.
Yeah. But yeah, aircon.
Yeah, that's fucking.
That's
That's the lowest.
Y'all ain't paying the bills.
Yeah.
Huh?
What a life.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
come in the
like paying
morning
the
and it's
bills,
fucking
yeah, you don't care,
a crisp
yeah.
fucking 6 degrees in the office. Don't need to do an ice bath today. Just fucking walk into the office.
Walk into the office. It's like a cryotherapy chamber.
Goodness me.
How funny. Has that happened?
Which, the aircon on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In our office. Yeah. The duds
Was it me?
downstairs. No.
No, I've never walked
No,
in.
not us.
I've never walked in.
Hey, in all fairness, there has been a couple times this summer that I have left my aircon on when I left. Sorry.
Did you? Was it on?
I'll pay extra on the bill.
Was it off when you came back?
No.
Oh, it just
I
stays
came
on
back
the
the next
whole time.
morning
Oh,
and
okay.
it was still on.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. People get sick, and we're complaining about aircon bills.
That's right. Sick
On
about
that-
what? Sick about what?
Sick of what?
Thanks for lining that, just lobbing that one up for me.
What can I say? It's a good partnership. It's
Damn straight. And if you want to keep enjoying this partnership and making sure that we're back week on week on week, just drop us a DM, send us a comment, do something, get in touch, say g'day, and even better, subscribe. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, and someone in particular that Robbie wants you to share it with too.
your mother.
Damn straight.
I reckon you and anyone shared it with their mum.
If you
I would
have,
love
let
to
us
know.
If you
And
have,
if you
let us
haven't,
know.
what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, dude, I haven't shared it with my mum.
Well, my mum likes all the episodes.
Oh, she does, but I haven't shared it. I haven't specifically sent her the episode. I said, hey, just sharing, just letting you
Me,
know it
I sent-
exists.
Yeah.
Just letting you know it's here.
My mum signed up to my newsletter.
On, because I got multiple email addresses. I get
get
it
it
from
twice?
Yeah, I get it from my Pascon email and my Builder Elite email.
Do you like them?
I read them all the time.
Do you really?
I copy and paste them and put them into chat and say, how can I send this to my Builder Elite people?
Do you?
Speaking of Builder Elite, on Wednesday, in 2 days from now, from the time you guys are listening to this right now,
No.
why? Oh, we've already done it. Shit. Hey, we've got another Builder Summit coming up
Yeah.
mid-year
May.
in May.
Most likely.
In May. We'll let you know the details. It's going to be sick. What
On
a
that
life.
note,
What a life.
yeah, subscribe, share it with someone. And if you do have a conversation that you need to be having with, a business partner, or maybe it's a personal relationship partner,
Have it.
have the conversation.
Go get a fucking prenup.
Over-communicate.
Don't fuck around.
Go get your prenup.
If you're not married
You've got
yet,
one
get
anyway.
your prenup sorted.
And yeah, we hope you got a lot out of that. And I enjoyed that conversation. I think it was good to lay those out. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Damn straight. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.